Happy Football Friday. Welcome, 5280 Sports Network. Shawn Drotar, Nate Lundy. Welcome to your Football Friday here, the divisional round underway tomorrow. Shawn, how frustrating is it to be the Denver Nuggets, score 140 points in a game in London and nobody's talking about you?
Yeah, that was probably unfortunate timing for the Nuggets. Yeah, score 140, hit 15 three-pointers.
They played? What?
Play in England and do a great job. But then again, let's also be realistic. It's one game out of 82. They performed well, and there'll be plenty of time for us to talk about the Nuggets if they continue to play very well under Nikola Jokic really running the offense, and that's an interesting thing that we will get into. But of course, yesterday is all about the Denver Broncos' new coach, Vance Joseph, and what the Broncos will do there. Now we've seen a lot of the assistant coaches, Nate, move on. Wade Phillips, Joe DiCamillo, somewhat surprisingly for special teams, moving on as well, going to Jacksonville.
That doesn't surprise me. Hold on. Time it real quick. That one does not surprise me because, I'm sorry, with the exception of the kicking game, i.e., McManus, Prater before that, Connor Barth, you can go down the list. Punt returning, kick returning, in both doing it and covering it, has not been good on this team. So no, I'm actually not surprised that Joe DiCamillo, I know he's well liked, but the performance on the field, I've thought has been terrible.
You didn't like watching the Broncos catch all those punts within the 5? You didn't think that was good strategy?
I'm sorry. I have not been impressed by that, and I have nothing against Joe, but I have no problem that Joe is leaving and going to the Jags.
But what we've seen is, since Gary Kubiak left because of health concerns, something that may not have happened otherwise seems to be happening, where the Broncos really aren't just switching out head coaches. They are completely revamping their coaching staff in every capacity. We're talking about new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new special teams coordinator, new line coach, many new coaches all across the board. The Denver Broncos are reinventing themselves on the fly, and how they do that under a first-year head coach is going to be absolutely fascinating to watch. And I don't think we'll have any idea how it really turns out until they start playing games this fall.
And I have no problem with some of those coaches being gone, and here's part of the reason why. If you go back and look at 2015, hooray championship, okay? But the fact that championship was there, and that glow, and that parade, and everything masked problems that were on that team. They probably should have made changes in some of those positional coaches after that season. The only difference was it's very difficult from the PR standpoint to get rid of coaches right after you won a Super Bowl, because that seems counterintuitive. But the truth is that defense and how it performed, what it did in the Super Bowl, how they managed to completely get over the fact that the offense was not very good. The offensive line, Shawn, we know it hasn't been good for a couple of years now. It's not like the offense in 2015 was mind-bogglingly good and then all of a sudden got bad last year just because Peyton Manning wasn't here. And Peyton Manning was getting rid of the ball as quickly as he was because he had to, or he was going to die.
But keep in mind, Nate, that not all of this is coaching. The architect of that,
it is.
The guy that makes sure that they bring in these linemen, the guys that's been responsible for putting these players on the field. John Elway is not only still there, but now is probably more powerful than he has been before. This is really all John Elway's vision now.
Yeah, and right now I'm okay with that, because I still think John Elway is batting above 500 with the decisions that he's made. So I'm okay with that at this point. And if you're above 500 in professional sports, you're actually doing pretty good. So with the coaching changes that are there, obviously what matters, Shawn, is who comes in. It's not just a matter of deciding to clean out your closet. You've also got to decide what new clothes you want to hang up in there that you're going to wear. And one of those, it appears to be Mike McCoy, a very familiar name, obviously. He was here before, back in 2012, then took the job with the Chargers. Now he's a free agent, and it looks like he may be the offensive coordinator. You feel good about that?
Yeah, very much so. It ostensibly then moves away, the Broncos move away from that sort of modified West Coast offense that Mike Shanahan ran, that Gary Kubiak basically ran, almost without a lot of modifications, a 30-year-old offensive scheme that I think was very defeatable. So I think adding Mike McCoy makes a lot of sense. But Vance Joseph spoke specifically about the players. About the players first, not the scheme. John Elway has to make sure that he works with his player personnel department and they acquire the right guys for the job, or Vance Joseph and his new coaches, there's not much they can do.
We may have a lot to talk about by the time we get to Monday, so enjoy all of the football this weekend and whatever else you may have going on. We're back with you Monday morning, 7 a.m. on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1340, FM 1047, and of course all our morning minutes and everything at 5280sportsnetwork.com. For Shawn, I'm Nate. Have a great weekend.